Now, what I don't like is, and it's a couple of things. It's classic. Term classics being thrown around with this album. This album, I don't give a fuck if the bootleg been out for 5 months. Let shit breathe. You can't. I'm sorry. You got, it's years. Over time, I'm almost ready to pay Sparks to make a classic, a shirt for some dude's shirt with the definition of classic.
We can do that. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
Like, you know, it's like, yeah, the album been out for 3 weeks. I let it sit. No. Nigga, the Jordan 1 is a classic. Mm-hmm. That shit wasn't no classic when he wore it. Mm-hmm. The NBA was still trying to figure out what the fuck it was. That's why it was banned. Like, them niggas just don't make Hennessy today and then put it in a bottle. The shit sits over time.
Yep.
Bourbon sits over time. Tequila, your favorite drink, sits over time. And the better they do it, the more expensive it becomes. Niggas didn't say, hey, just made this Hennessy. Don't ferment it or nothing. Just put it in a bottle and sell it. Yep. When they made the 69 Chevy Camaro, niggas wasn't like, oh shit, as soon as it came off the assembly line, oh, this shit's a classic. Mm-hmm. They didn't do that. Mm-hmm. Wine. Nigga, if the wine don't sit, it's ripple. That's why motherfuckers like, oh man, this was a very good year. Yes, because over time, it's set. So you can enjoy it. But the Busta Rhymes album comes out, and it's a classic.
I told you, it's just the excitement. Niggas is excited, bro.
Niggas don't get...
We ain't heard Busta in so long.
I almost said niggas don't get pussy. Man, talk it, Landon. Talk it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, the album just came down and we calling it a classic. I'm telling you, man, look. This album, you call this album a classic today, and then 5 years ago from now, you think, it's a key word, you think that you're going to be listening to this album 5 years from now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk about an album that I love, that I know niggas don't play like that. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people shit on this album. Mm-hmm. I've seen people shit on the album. Mm-hmm. It's To Pimp a Butterfly. Mm-hmm. I've seen people shit on To Pimp a Butterfly. Mm-hmm. I love this album, and I play this album to this day. Mm-hmm. How long has it been since To Pimp a Butterfly came out?
That was about 5-6 years ago, maybe.
Came out 15?
Okay, 5 years.
You enjoy that album the way that you enjoyed it when you listened to it. There's one thing, but it's also called growth. Shit hit different. When you get to certain age, music should grow with you. That's why it becomes classic. Music, items, shoes, cars, clothes, TV shows.
This Busta album ain't growing with y'all niggas.
No. I'm not even gonna say that. Because there's been albums that came out and was cold, or we was like, all right, when it came out. But over time, it's like, man, this was a quality ass body of work. Mm-hmm. Infamous, Mobb Deep, for an example. The Infamous album. I remember when that album dropped. It was a nice album. It's like, all right, we fuck with this album. Boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. But over time, that album just got better and better and better and better. That's when it becomes a classic. Over time. You gotta let the shit breathe. Grow with it. Niggas act like they gotta call some shit a classic today. Why? How come it just can't be a dope album? How come you just can't like the shit? Why does it have to be a classic today? Because it's not. That's not even a fucking definition of classic. Today. That's the issue that I have with people, and that's why I don't have musical conversations with certain people, because they be so on the rush because of nostalgia. Mm-hmm. You like this Busta album because you miss Busta.
Yep.
And you love Busta and you miss Busta. So you're going to like this album because of that. If you're not a Busta Rhymes fan, you're not going to like this album. You're not.
If you don't like Busta Rhymes, you might as well just not even listen to the album.
And if you like Busta Rhymes, you're going to love this album. Mm-hmm. But the shit got to grow. Classics grow with you.
Yeah.
That Jordan 1 grow with you. That Jordan 2 grew with you. That Jordan 3 grew with you. You remember where you was when you bought it. You remember when you first put it on. You remember when you first hooped with it. You remember when you said, damn, I'm not hooping in this shit no more. You remember it. Key word is remember. When the nigga got in the shit in the Chevy Camaro in the 60s, they didn't get in the car like, oh, this is a classic piece of car. Because there was some mechanics that was like, oh, this shit's terrible. I got to fix this shit. But now you like, oh, man, I enjoy fixing these cars. Over years, you grew with it. You drove that car for the first time when you got your license. When you got your license, you picked your homies up for the first time. Y'all had a drink. Y'all dragged racing that bitch. You got some pussy at Mulholland Falls in that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So when you look at that motherfucker and you sold it in 1975, you like, fuck. In 85, you like, fuck, I shouldn't have sold it. Yeah. Now all your life, you like, I got to get that back because it's the feeling that you got. That feeling don't come after 2 days. When you listen to Blueprint hit differently than it did when you listen to it when it dropped September 11th. Mm-hmm. That's what classics do, because it happens over time. And it ain't got to be albums, it could be songs. Mm-hmm. Old Boy hits different now than it did then. Mm-hmm. Dipset Anthem hits harder now than it did then. Because when you hear that shit in the club, you go, oh my God.
It make you feel how you felt when it, in the actual real time moment when it dropped.
Over time.
When you hear some shit or you experiencing some shit that had that vintage feel, and you just restored it, and you restoring the feeling.
You ain't feeling that shit after 3 weeks after listening to a bootleg album of shit that had some goddamn stamps all through the goddamn song. You like it though. Mm-hmm. But that's not classic. Now, if you listen to that shit 5 years from now and that feeling just comes, like, oh my God. That's the shit. That's why I don't get mad at niggas when they be like that old music shit no more, because I'm that nigga with the old music. That's why I enjoy this Busta Rhymes album, because like, yo, it restored, when he came on there with the, even though I don't like the Belle Biv DeVoe song, to hear the old Busta Rhymes cadence, I was like, all right, this helps it.
Okay.
Ha, he, ha, ha, he, ha, ha, ha.
He definitely had the Busta Rhymes flow on it.
The Busta Rhymes what? Classic flow.
The classic flow was on there.
That shit, Busta Rhymes did that shit in 1995. It wasn't no classic flow in 1995. It was some new shit.
It was some new shit that we loved him for. We liked it because it was different. And it was like, yeah, this is what sets Busta Rhymes aside from everybody else.
25 years later, though, it's classic. That's classic Busta.
Because it's restoring the feeling.
When you watch wrestling, if Michael Cole sees somebody, if Michael Cole sees John Cena do the attitude adjustment in 2001, he ain't saying vintage Cena or classic Cena in 2001. He's saying that shit in 2020 now, though, because that's classic Cena.
Anytime we see Undertaker walk up on that rope and do
that's classic Undertaker.
Classic vintage Undertaker.
That shit that you do over time, that shit that people identify you with. Mm-hmm. So damn, I understand. And this ain't just for Busta. This is for insert album. This is for all of Griselda shit. This is for all the Kendrick shit. Cause don't none of y'all motherfuckers talk about Damn, and Damn was supposed to be a classic album when it dropped. Don't none of y'all motherfuckers talk about Damn. That's why I be yelling at niggas like, y'all don't even talk about this motherfucker album. But as soon as it dropped, oh, this shit's a classic. Don't none of y'all motherfuckers mention this goddamn album. Mm-hmm. Stop busting nuts over albums that just came out.
I don't think I ever heard Bang get this bad.
Oh, because it was blowing me. I'm like, yo, this album cool. And I know some people gonna listen to this part and they gonna think this part is about them. No, this shit been shit that I've been saying for fucking years. Dame Dash should have never told motherfuckers buy two and leave one in the plastic. It's a classic. Cause none of y'all motherfuckers will be talking that classic shit right now. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Isley brothers made Between the Sheets and 2 days later heard that?
It was like, yo, this shit classic.
Classic, nigga. No. But you listened to that motherfucking shit in 1985 and you was like, man, this shit hidden. Mm-hmm. That nigga spitting. I ain't realize it then. Yeah. But now. And then as you get, do you think motherfucking Bobby Womack did I Wish You Wouldn't Trust Me So Much? And a day later was like, oh, this shit's a classic, my nigga. Fuck you talking about. No. Over time. Key word here. Over time. Mm-hmm. Do y'all niggas feel like y'all gonna die? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow or some shit? Mm-hmm. What is the rush? Mm-hmm. Why are we rushing greatness? If the album is great, let it do it. Let it achieve it. Motherfuckers be in a rush to anoint shit. Classic, another classic. Goddamn Florsheim shoes. I ain't seen a motherfucker wear Florsheim shoes in years, but I think if a motherfucker saw that shit, it was like, oh man, back in the days when shoes was the shit. Used to have to wear a suit if you didn't have no Florsheim shoes on that motherfucker. The suit could have been $1,000. If you ain't got no Florsheim on there, that suit was whack. That's why shit come back in style. It don't come back in style just because motherfucker, goddamn, Pelly's come back in style. It don't come back in style just because a motherfucker's like, yo, I want to wear Pelly.
Hey, for some reason, Jabot jeans is back. No,
see, but I'm glad that you said that.
Did I see? I think I see Jabot jeans up and down the timeline.
I don't know if that shit's true. Times. I don't know if that shit true, but it's the perfect example. Wasn't nobody rocking that shit. And it was like, yo, this is classic. They liked it.
It was just the shit that was in.
But then somebody see that shit and was like, oh, like 10 years later, it's like, oh,
motherfuckers, they brought that shit back.
Think we might need to bring this back because you appreciate the shit.
Yep.
You appreciate it.
That's a classic.
Over time, though, that's a classic. They bring fucking Pelly jackets back in style and shit, and them niggas cost double. It's because it's a classic. Over time, the appreciation is back. They not gonna bring no whack shit back that you ain't gonna appreciate. Nigga, I saw a Facebook ad of Trump shoes. I mean, not Trump. Troop shoes. I remember when I was little, like, yo, all the drug dealers wear them shoes. I want a pair. Couldn't afford a pair. Now I'm looking like, damn, might buy me some troops. Now I just need me a Todd 1 jumpsuit. I wasn't thinking the word classic then because it wasn't. It was just some shit we was rocking that we thought it was dope. But then as you look back, you like, man, that shit was appreciation. That's why when you go and you go put a diamond, and what when you try to see how much a diamond is worth, appreciation, key there. When a car drives off a lot, it depreciates. Yeah. But then years later, you realize that piece of junk was actually dope. Goddamn, the Mustang 5.0 drug dealer car. They do a Mustang. They do a rebirth of the Mustang 5.0. How many niggas who grew up in 1988 nuts?
About to pay the full.
Oh my god! No, not the pay the full point because them the sob thing. No, go look up a 1988 Mustang 5.0. Because one of my little homies out here got one. He had one. He got into a car accident as soon as he got that bitch. But he was like, JR, look at this. I was like, oh, shit. This nigga got a Mustang 5.0. Oh, my nigga, you sell rocks. Because as only one person that didn't sell drugs, I saw with a Mustang 5.0, and that was my mother cousin Edward.
Okay.
Only nigga that I saw with a Mustang 5.0 that didn't sell drugs. Mm-hmm. So you bring that shit back. It's the classic. It's the look. It's the feel. It's the way that the shit's shaped. All that shit. They bring that shit back because it's like, oh, we brought to restore the feeling. You bought that shit because it was a dope car. Now you buy that shit because that shit's classic. That shit was more than a dope car. Why did a motherfucker get a box Chevy? A Chevy Caprice? And was like, oh man, these box Chevys, when they first came out.
Shout out to my homie Dan. He had a box Chevy.
Yeah, I'm talking about the first year when nigga, I ain't talking about what we grew up on and we started to flip. Right. No, when these motherfuckers was like, when the first Chevy Caprice Classic. Get it now. Niggas wasn't like, oh man, box Chevy is a classic. No. Over time, you like, oh man, this shit's dope. Let me go put some rims on this bitch. Let me go drop 2 12s up in this motherfucker. Trunk.
It's just like the same thing. Like when I buy mics. When I used to buy the mics back 10 years ago, I got them because they was fire. I liked them. Now these motherfuckers is retroing the same exact shoe again next month. And I'm going to get it because I had it then and I want it now again to restore the feeling. That's it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
You wanted that shoe then.
I wanted it.
Restore the feeling.
I wanted it. I wanted the shoe then, and now they're and Jordan just does the same shit. They retro the same fucking shoe again. But hey, I'm gonna keep getting the same fucking shoe again.
Because the feeling, it's a classic.
Because it's a classic.
You probably not gonna buy the 35s.
No. I ain't fucking with those. But
there's shit now. That's why motherfuckers is buying old shit to restore the. Hey man, when I was younger, this shit was cool. Mm-hmm. The Ken Griffey's come out. I wanted them bitches when I was younger. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, man, they bringing them back. Oh my god.
Yep.
I remember back in 1996, I was rocking this shit, and they had the MLB coats with the MLB coats with the Mariner joints. Yeah. And they had the one side white and the other side green. Mm-hmm. They had to zip up the windbreaker coat. You remember them bitches? Oh my god, them shits was so dope. You got that shit and you match that shit with the shoes. Y'all little niggas don't know nothing about matching this shit. Y'all be up in, oh man, we was up in this motherfucker. Goddamn starter coats. The starter jackets. The satin starter jackets. You died for them bitches when they was coming out. You ain't dying from them now, but you buying them for 2 reasons. One, I wanted that shit and didn't want to risk my life when I got it then. But then also, them shits was classic. Mm-hmm. They don't make jackets like that no more. No bomber jackets like that. Oh my God, they fit so well. They weren't too baggy. All that shit. I'm watching a commercial now with a little white boy got the goddamn Jordan 1s on. Talking about some buy and sell fashion shit. You niggas got to stop blowing your load over music that just came out today. Yeah. It's no need. Let that shit grow over time. Enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Somebody got to tell me, #SamDudePod, at me at JRBang, at Mike B @MikeB_CHR. What's the rush of calling some shit a classic? And don't say, well, I know a classic when I hear it. And I know I'm going to be listening to some shit 20 years from now. No, the fuck you don't.
I can't call that.
No, the fuck you don't. You like that shit today, tomorrow, next week. A year from now, shit probably don't even be in the playlist. Yeah. And the fucked up thing is, a lot of these niggas who be saying that shit, be calling shit classics, and don't even be wanting to admit that they don't listen to that shit no more. Cause you niggas don't listen to Kendrick Lamar, damn. You don't. You don't. Unless it's on a commercial or some shit. Mm-hmm. You don't.
So they not revisiting damn.
No,
like
niggas be lying they fucking teeth out. Mm-hmm. They be lying. Get the fuck off that shit, man. Stop blowing your load off of some shit. Enjoy the shit. Have some life experiences with your shit. What life experience did you got with this Busta out? Not a motherfucking thing.
Some dude pot. Some dude pod. Bang. What is next?